So hey folks, assalamu alaikum. In this video we're going to actually cover a few things, like one is large language models, what are the basics of large language models, how it works, and we're going to use it. And at the same time we're going to talk about RAG, which is retrieval augmented generation. So we'll also check that out from some sort of website. Okay, so let's get started. Like, what is LLM? LLMs are currently the most famous things or most hyped up things in the industry, right? So you might have heard of it, like maybe ChatGPT, maybe another technologies like another LLMs like Gemini or others, right? So actually Microsoft has partnered with OpenAI, who is actually who created this ChatGPT, and it basically uses the GPT-3 model. These are basically models, and ChatGPT is basically uh, specifically used for chat. Okay, that's the thing. Basically the model, and we can as a user or any user can actually chat with the model, or you can say you are actually asking for some sort of actually output, right? That's the thing. So how it works? So an LLM is a model that is so large that it achieves general purpose language understanding and generation. So what it is? So in general, if you have worked with machine learning models, you will see like, yes, we there are a lot of things like within machine learning we have also learned or you may know about natural language processes and so on. So you basically have gone through neural networks and so on. So those are like kind of compared to those, like in general, in the normal comparing the normal machine learning models with neural networks, obviously those are also included there, but neural network models are pretty much something big, right, compared to just the supervised or unsupervised learning models, right? So but this LLM, large language models, are actually huge. Why? Because if you know about the machine like the neural networks, there is something called weight, right? Weight. So those weights are here represented as parameters. So the thing is, here we deal with billions of parameters, billions of weights. Okay, that means this is a huge model. That is something interesting. So this is such a huge model that what you can do is you can actually use it for like general purpose language understanding and generation. That means you can understand what the user is saying, also you can generate something. So how it works is like for example here, what we have done, for example, like the user, I assume that the user has written like review, then colon, this movie sucks, no problem. This and also the user said this indicates the sentiment negative. Okay, okay, and then the user again said, he or she provided, I love this movie, and he said or she said like the sentiment. Now right now she or he doesn't know actually about what the sentiment is. The person actually sent this input to the LLM. This is an example all of like you can provide any prompt, like for example this is called prompt. So a prompt can have general input, a prompt can have context, a prompt can have example. This is an example of a prompt with an example. Why? Like you are saying this is a prompt, and you are also saying like this means negative sentiment. So now you have given this sentence, and you are like now asking like which sentiment should it be, and how the LLM will learn. The LLM will basically understand, okay, this movie sucks, so these words are some sort of negative, and you are saying okay, sentiment, okay, great, that means we are in the good path. Like this movie, this word is neutral, the movie is this word is neutral as well, sucks, this word is something negative, and the user said the whole sentiment is negative, good. So then the user will say like then the you just said like I love this movie, so here you can say I is neutral word, this movie, this is also neutral, and love, you see, this is something sort of positive or anything not negative actually, right? So now it will compare like, okay, if this thing means negative, then this thing, as it is not negative, it should be positive. So the LLM answers positive. This is how it works. So there are a lot of things that works. Okay, you can generate text like this. This was an example of like just to see, just to like you gave an example like how your text should be, or you can say like you just provided the sentence, you are you expect the answer to be something in a word, and you just give this LLM some sort of example, so it just followed that. But in general, there are a lot of things. It is not generation here, it is just the example following, and within that it just looked for the pattern. But it can also work as a generation model like LLM. You can just ask for like write a paragraph about this, you can do that. There are a lot of things. Okay, now here you can see there are a few things, that is the model arithmetic, and there is multitask, NLO, there is word in context. So these are some sort of things like model accuracy check, etc, etc. Okay, so here you can see like the accuracy, talking about the accuracy. So these are our lambda, this is GPT-3, quite good, not that one, word in context. So go for show a palm random. So there are a lot of things, you can just check that out. Okay, so here you can see the more arithmetic one, the GPT-3 is quite good here. Here you can see Chinchilla, this is good here, and I think that is palm is good in word in context. Okay, now let's talk about this, like using LLMs on Azure. So how can you use that? So if you want to use LLMs on Azure, there are a few options. Like from OpenAI, you have these things, these models, GPT 3.5, 4, GPT 4.0, and others. Okay, so how to use that? You can just use Azure OpenAI. Okay, or you can use GitHub models. Now the thing is, GitHub models is you can just go to github.com/marketplace/models. You can go there and join the beta tester waiting list. So currently it is not that much of like they're looking for beta testers. Then another option is Microsoft 5.3 mini. These are for research purpose, and you will see these models also exist here, and others like Mistral, Cohere, Meta, and so on. Okay, so you can basically use these as well, like in using Azure AI model catalog, GitHub models, and so on. Okay, now using LLMs locally, this is an interesting one. So you can install this one like olama.com. You can just go to Bing and search for olama.com, and you can just actually install that. Now the problem with that is like you can run that in your local system, no problem, but your local system or your local computer has should have a lot like high configuration of GPU and so on, right? So if you don't have that, like this is basically Olama run Llama 2. This is Llama has currently a very high level of models, like very upper versions, which has lots of billions of parameters. But this Llama 2 is far more like easier or very small model. So it is easily like you can easily run it in your actually CP. Sorry, PC. If you have just if you have a good CPU and GPU. Okay. But still it's preferred that you should have a GPU at least to run these. Okay, or if you don't have that, just follow these. I think this one like GitHub CodeSpace. So let's just go into here. Okay, Python background. So from here you can see that. Okay, so this is the link. So you can just go to Pamela Fox, and she basically currently works at Microsoft. Okay, so cloud advocate in Python at Microsoft. So she has created this repository. So here you can see there are a few files and so on. So how can you run that? You can just go to code and then code space. Okay, oh wait, yeah, I think local code space, no changes. I need to delete that because created earlier. Okay, great, I can create one. Okay, so what will happen, it will take a bit time. and it is going to load. And what we are going to do is we are going to run a LLM here. How? So this is the process you've been mentioned. So here you can see once we open that, I'm just waiting for this to load. Open the code space in the browser, then use code button at the top of the repository. Then once the code space is loaded, should have Ollama pre-installed, and as well as OpenAI Python SDK. We will talk a bit about that later on. And then you can see like ask Ollama to run SLM of your choice, for example run phi3. So I think we have talked about that phi3, right? Yeah, phi3, right? We are going to use the phi3 mini, this one, and they're using basically Ollama. Okay, let's see if that, no, it will take a bit of its time. You can see opening remote, so it will load all of the stuffs. Here you can see the lots of stuffs. So it will take a bit of its time, so let's wait for that. Okay, so we are waiting for this to load properly. So as we can see the terminal, and you can just now copy this one here. Yes, hello, that one. Let's see if that's okay. So pooling manifest. Okay, so what it is going to do is ask, we are basically using Ollama, that is what you previously have seen. So we are using that in the code version basically, and we are running phi3 in local code space. So you can actually use Ollama in your local system in your own PC, and you can run that. But we are currently using actually the GitHub code space to run it. Okay, but we're surely not using lots of they have like very big LLM. The reason is simple. We are not expecting because there is limitations, right? You cannot use lots of GPU or CPU and so on. Okay, so send a message. So you can now ask like, who is the president of USA? Just for an example. Let's see if that can answer. Yes, great. As of my knowledge, cut off in early 2023. So this phi3 is updated, or it has been trained till like the earlier of 2023. So you can see the US, the president of United States is Joe Biden. Great. Now I will say like, write me a, I don't know if you can see these, or is there any option to zoom in a bit? Scroll to next one, run active. I'm not sure about that. Let me check. Okay, write me a poem on AI. I don't know if it can. Let's see. Okay, it is doing that. That's great. Like in circuits deep, where data streams flow, a mind without flesh begins its show. Great. An artificial intellect born at dawn, to learn and grow in silicon lawns so drawn. Okay, pretty much good. You can see it's not stopping. I've been mentioned actually how big this model should be, or how much the output should be. We haven't said the stop token or whatever it is. Okay, okay, it is generating a lot of the text. That's great. Okay, I think that should be good for us, isn't it? After several seconds, you should see response. No problem. To learn about different techniques used in LLMs, Python notebook. Open the Python notebook, ollama.ipynb. So, is it here? Yeah, here. And if you use a model other than phi3, change the model name. Okay, so what happens basically, we're using this, right? We have just said like, okay, let's use this one. I mentioned that earlier, Ollama run phi3, because it is mentioned in this ipynb file. If you look into here, you will see that Just wait for that to load. Because this is how this IPYNB file is created. Okay. um, okay, so it's taking some time. I'm not sure, let me just check it out from here. You can do that. Oh yeah, this is loaded. Okay, so from here you can see like API key, or these are provided, model name has been provided. So if you want to use another a different model, you just need to mention that, but you have to keep in mind that code space, if you are using it for free, there is obviously some limitations, you have to know about it. But if you think that you have premium or subscription from GitHub as well, then that should not be a big issue for you. But obviously there is a limitation, so we are not eager to talk about it then. Okay, great, we have just used LLMs. Now using LLMs from Azure OpenAI in Python. Okay, now the thing is if you want to use LLM in Azure OpenAI using Python, this should be the method. Here you can see the response is like OpenAI client. We're just calling that, and we're basically saying we're going to use the chat version, because as you can see, we were chatting with the model, right? Stream is true, message something like role equal to system, and content is this is basically system message. Here you can see you are help full assistant with very flowery language, and for the user you can see this is the message we basically input, like what food, this is that basically this is the input. Okay, this is the input. So what food would magical kiddies eat, or whatever, what is the first president of US, what is the first president of India, what is the first president of Bangladesh, and so on. You can just put it out here. So this is the part you basically work in. Okay, so this is a repository again created by Pamela Fox. Here you can basically use it like using the code space. Now the problem is, now we have a code space created here, so I have to delete that and then I have to create one that. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to use it, I'm not actually going to open it either. Thing is, as you know, that this is the same thing basically. Here OpenAI demos, if you just look into here, what are you expecting is there you can see there are lots of files created, compared to here you just had this IPYNB file, right? But here we have lots of Python and IPYNB files. So chat by chat stream, chat history, chat safety, and so on. So, and also you have to like setting up the environment. These are the things that will be obviously set up, and you have to keep in mind about these. Okay, so you have to do all of the stuffs in your system on before actually running the codes. Okay, so you can try this out and you'll see like how it works and so on. If you just look into the chat.py, so from here, let me check, I think I can zoom it here. Yes, that's good. Okay, these are the things, importing portion, then API host, and now these are the things like if you want to, if you are using Azure, basically this is the portion that will be used. If you're using Olama, this is the portion will be used. If you're using GitHub, this is the thing code that will be used. If you're using OpenAI, then this is the thing that will be used. And then this is I think this is what we have seen, client.chat.completion.create and something, and this is, then we have seen this message role, then system, and it was a system message, and then this is your message. So basically this is what you have to modify. And now before modifying, then you can run this one, then you can run this chat.py file, then it will work. But prior to that, what we have to do, you have to follow this process. You can see these are the things you have to install and other things. Okay, GitHub token, etc. Export GitHub token, your GitHub token goes here and so on. Okay, personal access token and etc. You can just do all of the process. You have to just follow this GitHub repository. Just first of all create the code space, and then basically it will take a lot of time, so that's why I'm just ignoring that. Okay, because we have already gone through the same process. That was the LLM, we've used that earlier. Okay, great. Now the limitations of LLM, that is most important part. The LLM, basically, you see, we have just asked for some questions, right? So it was till 2023 or something, but because it is specific to like that model only. But there are a few models that are actually updated, that are very much updated, or few models that are not that much of updated. So in general, we're expecting the LLMs to generate text. We're expecting the LLMs to answer us those questions. But the thing is, sometimes we may ask some questions which may have a different meaning, and the LLM might not understand that. So, or the LLM might not have the knowledge of, maybe you want to ask, you want to make sure that the LLM can do some task for your company, and the LLM might not have the knowledge of your company data. So there are a lot of things like here. First of all, you can see outdated public knowledge, also no internal knowledge. That means if you want to know something about your company, it might not know. And also outdated public knowledge, because yes, as you have just seen, like the 5.3 mini had knowledge of knowledge till 2023. So it meant that maybe if there is an election right now or something, it might not know about it. Okay, so these are the limitations. So now the problem is, how can you solve it? Like the good way is like fine tuning. Now the problem with fine tuning is like tuning the weights. Basically, fine tuning means in the LLM perspective or neural network, whatever it is. Basically, LLM is some sort of neural network as well. So we have weights, so you can actually fine tune those weights so that you can get a good result and so on. You can do that, but this is very much costly because you have to work with the model, total model again, and time consuming. And there is another option which is called RAG, which we were talking about, which was the retrieval augmented generation. So it basically learns a few temporary facts, and depending on that, it can answer. Now this is basically like, let's talk about it, like what is this RAG. Now, for example, if you just asked like how fast the LLM, one of the models, like how fast is the Pyrus 5, you just ask that. Now the model might not know about it, might not know, but what it will, if you just provide the model with a CSV file or a file which or whatever kind of formation it is, like vehicle, year, MSRP, acceleration, these are the things you have provided. So you have also mentioned Pyrus, and all of the models Pyrus has year and acceleration, so on. You just provided that. So what will happen is, it will basically look into that. Okay, it will basically look into that, and it will train to the, like, then LLM will be trained, and then you can get the answer. Once it is done, like then you can easily get the answer. Okay, it will be done in parallelly. So here you can see now this is a local knowledge Pyrus 5, because assuming that it doesn't have that knowledge. So this is maybe some sort of car which we have in our company. So we've just provided the document. It basically will work with the document and will then answer us like, yes, the Pyrus 5 has an acceleration of 9.51 second from 0 to 60 mph. Great, that is the one. Okay, now RAG or RAG, you can call it, with OpenAI Python SDK. So how it works, so just previously we have seen response, message, role system, role user, these are the things. So a bit different, something is like, here you can see user query. This is a question. Currently this is how this model, this is how we need to actually create this one. User query, this is the question you have to provide it here, and the retrieved content, so that whole file you have to provide it here, and then, or maybe the link or whatever it is. So then it will just work with it, and then this is a question type, like user query, this one, plus this one, and sources, so retrieved content, so this one. So it's basically then the content, and now you have just provided two things. What you have provided two things to the LLM. One is the query, another one is sources, where you can find that out. So you're basically helping the LLM with two things, question and the document, isn't it? And you will get the answer. That's it. So this is a local thing. So this can be a thing that can solve the problem, right? the benefits of RAG or RAG, like up to date public knowledge. So you can just provide it some good knowledge about the public, what's happening, etc., and it will give it the good answer, because you don't need to create a whole model from scratch. No, you just give it the recent information, etc., in maybe a different file format. You can just do it, and it can access to internal knowledge, which we have seen just right now, maybe a virus model or other. Okay, now there are a lot of ways to use that basically. Okay, so yes, there are a lot of options you have. So types of RAG, there are a few options. Types of, like, first of all, there is a simple RAG, advanced RAG with query writing, and RAG sources, etc. You can just it can have structured data. For example, what do you mean by sources? That is like the data you're providing. It can be structured data, it can be documented data, it can be graph, knowledge graph. Okay, now we have to look into these two. Simple graph, a simple RAG. What is a simple RAG? So, like, you have asked, what's the best shoe for hiking? Okay, it might not have the knowledge, or it can have the knowledge maybe. Now you have, it also need to understand, okay, the context and so on, right? Now, if it has the data about, like, these things, hiking shoes, price this one, Raptor Elite, type this description, this is, and so on. There are a lot of things, because it's not the only model. That might be shoe model, that may be a lot of one, and it can be basically a shoe can have price, it can have, it will have actually some sort of benefit, like maybe the user quality is good, maybe the price is high. There are a lot of metrics actually. So depending on that, it has to actually, this LLM will have to decide. It's not an exactly question, it is not an exact thing that has been provided in Bing or Google, like this is the best one. You cannot say that, right? There are a lot of metrics through which we have to decide, or the LLM has to decide. Now here you can see it basically goes through these, and LLM then says, for great hiking shoes, consider the Trek Extreme hiking shoes. And here you can see this is the one, or the Trace Blaze. This is this. Now what this means, this one is basically, it is referring to some sort of data, or some sort of website link, or some sort of data, or some sort of file or other. This is also meaning some sort of thing. So what it is saying, okay, I just have come to know that depending on the metrics, these two are better, and I'm not sure. You can just follow the link. When you see these kind of things after a sentence, you see 1, 2, this, you can understand it is basically using RAG, which is RAG. Okay, so the thing is simple RAG. So how can you use that? Let's just use it. We'll use that first of all. So we'll use that for sure. RAG post, I think that should be better, the demo one. Yes, you can use this one here. Just follow the full process in the code space. You can do that, or in your local system if you have very good system, and a lot of things. But there are all steps mentioned, like if you want to use code space, if you want to use the VS Code dev, or local environment, all of the things are mentioned, no problem. Now we can also use it in the, like, this link, aka.ms rag-postgres demo. So if you just write it down in your browser, so what will happen, you will see something like that. So simple RAG, we are going to use that. We are just going to ask for, like, best shoe for hiking. Then the same question, basically this is what that was asked, right? So we are going to use it. Let's see, yeah, best shoe for hiking. If you just ask for it, okay, so it has provided some sort of thing, like here you can see 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure if you can see. Yes, 1, 2, and 3. So this means, like, it has some sort of data, or some sort of file which it has followed, right? Then it has provided the references as well. These are the references 1, 2, and 3. Okay, this is the answer, and this is the reference. So this is the reference it has got. Now the thing is, How do we know? Now if you just follow this, if you just follow, or if you just press this one, now you'll see how it works. Basically, uh, basically the thing is, the like prompt to generate search arguments, and now we are basically using GPT 35 35 turbo, or for model and deployment, same thing. So this is the thing. Now then we have asked for best shoes for hiking, so hiking shoes, you just look for hiking shoes, and then it got some sort of data. This is the data we have, the files, etc., or links, whatever it is. Then it works with the file, and then it generates. Okay, so basically depending on your text, first of all the model is loaded, and then it looks for some sort of data, and depending on the data, then it generally creates this another type of like the answer. Okay, so that's it. So this is how the simple RAG works. So if we just look into here, again, so you just ask the question, and the model was loaded for sure. Here the model was loaded, and then it looked for the data, some sort of data, and then it using the data, it created the basically the model was run on the data, and we got the answer. So that's the thing. So if you just follow the process again, I think clear chat should be a good option, like best for hiking again. So how it worked this time is just the one, only the one. Okay, so here you can see this is the answer, like this is the answer basically, and this is the reference, and this is the data it has been provided to them. Okay, the few things like use advanced flow with query, we are not eager to do that currently. There are a lot of things. If you are not if you know about this temperature thing, temperature is basically responsible for the randomness and so on. Okay, so if you just log it and close it, and a clear chat, best for hiking, generating answers. For this one, user advanced flow with query writing, I will do that for the next one on all models. Now it's taking some time. Interesting. Good. Now this is our answer, and how it got the answer, it has this data. Okay, because this page is basically designed for like that 3 questions we had earlier, if you just saw, best shoe for hiking and other 2 questions. So this is the data that has been provided to it. Now it just went to that, and it has provided that okay, this is the link, or this is the resources or references. Just go to the reference, and you will see this is the reference. Okay, so how it worked, basically the model was loaded, then it looked for the text like hike for, or hiking shoes, best shoe for hiking. So this is a prompt, but you'll see the thing is, this is something here now currently that is the way we were expecting basically. Yes, I think that's the mistake I've done. That's not a big issue. Basically this is the simple RAG. So when you ask for the questions, you see like best shoe for hiking, and you just go through the data, and then the answer is generated. But there is another thing that is called the thing, this one, advanced RAG with query rewriting. So I just forgot to check this one, use advanced flow. Now it will be quite different. Clear chat, same thing. Now the process is different. The thing is, the process is different. As I mentioned, the earlier process, that was the one. Okay, we just go through that. Currently right now what happens is, if you just ask for the question, maybe a good shoe for a mountain trail, so now what it will do, from your prompt, okay, or question, it will create some sort of small token, okay, which is much more important. Like, what's a good shoe? You don't need that. You need like a good shoe for a mountain trail and shoe. These are very important. So it understands the importance of from that prompt. Okay, then it using the LLM, it generates that, then it gets the small token or kind of prompt. Then using that, then it get access to the whole data. Then it using that, it actually, like, the LLM model is run, and you get the answer. So that's the thing. Yeah, I made, like, that's the thing I overlapped. The thing is, this is how it works. So you, depending on your best shoe for hiking, it it actually gets this one, best shoe for hiking. Currently it is the same, but it can be different. You have seen that shoe hiking, it can be different. It can be it is not exactly the same. It does there is no need to be that, because right now best shoe for hiking, these are like, at least best shoe hiking, these three words are very important, because you know, base, you want the best one, you want the shoe, you want the hiking, all of the things. Okay, now this is basically using the model. You got this one, then using the data you generate the answer. That's the thing. Okay, that's great. Now if we just remove that, because we might not need it, like, let's just, okay, 0.9 and close. Okay, clear chat. Now if you just go for best shoe for hiking, okay, so we're expecting some sort of randomness, although things will be quite same. Trek extreme shoe, clear chat. Let me check. Okay, you can see the answer type, okay, is quite different this time again. So this is basically due to randomness, randomness of token and etc. Okay, for rust trails and your durability and so on. If you're looking for lightweight, okay, let me clear the channel. Let me check if that's, this time it's different again. Yeah, it's different for the durable option. If you're looking for lightweight, for ultimate, so every time that this answer is quite different. Because why? Because temperature, this is temperature is what that is responsible for getting randomness into our token. Okay, there is another few things like top p, top k and so on. If you know about those, we will talk about it in another sessions, but this is how you create a different sort of answers. Okay, great. Now advanced rag on postgres SQL, so you can also do that. Climbing, now here you can see this is basically like climbing gear cheaper than $30. So this is something you have to deal with data, right? Now when talking about the data, you see this might be like, when you ask for that, this is the answer, like this one, guardian blue, etc., $21. So how it understood? The process was it was basically using the advanced one, and basically looked for like climbing gear cheaper than $30. So it looked for those, and you can see top three. Then it was like vector search, it was true, and text search, it was true, and then it filtered out. It was using a filter. Basically you use PostgreSQL here, and it understood like we need to look for climbing gear, and obviously it has to be below 30. Okay, then it looked for the data, and it understood, and it generated a answer. So there are another few things like rag on documents. That can be huge document, like do my company perks covered underwater activities. So maybe you are a part of a company and you want to know the services provided by a company, etc. So if you just provided the whole document to that, LLMs will look into that, and it will answer. Okay, and it will also mention where is the reference. So you can actually look into that using this rag on documents. So if you just look into here in the chat on demo, you can look into here. Does not health plus plan over cover eyes. Okay, so again, okay. So the thing, like what is included in my health plus plan, that is not in standard. You can ask that. So this is basically like there is a document that has been provided to this model, and it will basically look into that, and it will answer these questions. Okay, what happens in a performance review, and it will also see that data, like how the performance review is done. It will mention what does a product manager do, product manager duty, etc., etc. We'll look into that. So if you talk about what is included in Northwind Health Plus plan, that is not in standard, maybe upgraded than that. So it is basically looking into the data. We will first of all generate the answer, then we will look into the process, if it is the process or not. So you are not learning the RAG today. You are just knowing what is the process, how it works. Okay, so we've got the answer, I guess. Not when help plus, etc, etc. This is a citation. You can say benefit options, PDF. This is the PDF provided, and you can see in the page 2 it has got that. I'm not sure if you can look into that. Yes, citation, thought process, supporting content. So yes, that's the one, that's the document that has been provided. So this is how the model can be worked, can work. So you just don't need now the benefit of this session is like, you know, like how it works, but you don't need to run it actually from the scratch. Here you can see this is the PDF that has been provided, and you see like it mentioned in the page 2 of this one, like in the page 2 this data was provided. From that it just generated this answer. Okay, citation number 1, if you go to his citation, this is the link, and this is the page 2. Here you can see this to page 2. So this document informs language model, etc, etc, a lot of things. Okay, I think yes. Okay, now the thing is, this is how it works. Now if you just look into here, what is the process, you see that it basically look for using the model. First of all, it just looked for that a simple sentence with prompt, and then using the data it generated the answer. Okay, so prompt to generate search query, so it's a better search query, and then search results using the query, and then generate the answer using that data. This is basically the data, and this is basically the answer we can see. Now that's good. Now I think that should be the end of our session with that. But before we end this one, you will just see RAG data sources, so or RAG data sources that we can have structured data, which can have PostgreSQL, Cosmos DB, Azure SQL, or you can have document based, which is like PDF. So docs, PPT, etc. It can, you have just seen, just watch that, like how the documents part work, right? So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you have learned some few things about LLM, how to run that in your local system or in CodeSpace. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section, and see you in the next session.